facts from the lesson. Live in the hills, but it still get a spread. Started with a live, but it still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel less a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful day. I got another watch list for you, but if you didn't notice, the market went up today, and that was actually the first time this week. Now, why am I, doing this with the Nancy? You may not know, because she's distracting. She distracted everybody, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Listen, before I get into the watch list, we gotta talk about the thing nobody is listening to, and that is the Fed futures and the Fed speaking. So, let me give you this chart. You see that very bottom near 372? That happens to be around July 14th, July 15th, right? Literally, we are chilling at the low 370s, and then you notice everything takes off from there. What could have magically happened on that date? We're going to go with Bostic and Bullard for 200. Okay, Alex? Yes. On that date, that was when the Fed said, no, we are not doing 100 basis points. So if you don't remember, we brought this up a couple of weeks ago. Everybody was freaking out about 9.1 CPI. They're like, yep, 100 basis points. Fed futures started pricing in something massively. Literally, the odds were like 90% of 100 basis point hike. And then 2 weeks later, everything fell back. Why? Because the Fed speakers kept saying, no, we ain't gonna go that high. Market chilled out, so did the Fed futures. Why is that so important? Because these last 3 days, in the middle of all the Nancy stuff, in the middle of earnings and everything else, the Fed futures have been moving, and on top of it, literally, we keep getting Fed speaker after Fed speaker saying, no, stop it. We are not pausing. We are not pausing. No, we're not done. There might be a recession, and nobody's listening. So we got a lot to talk about. I'm going to go over what happened today, why we saw this bounce, and then what to expect for the rest of the week. I got a little bit of a theory, and then all the plays that we made and what we're looking at for the rest of the week. So drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/thestockmarket. I did it perfect that time. Finally. And if you guys don't know, it's a sad day, bro. I honestly think I've showed you every single shirt in my wardrobe, and now we going back to like the double XLs that I just, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is, man. With this and Colt gear, that's it, man. I'm telling you. So, I love you, Chad. God bless you. But as far as the keys, you saw it today. The tensions dropped and the market went up. Nancy Pelosi left. We didn't get any crazy escalation, and we talked about it on stream. If you don't know, in 1996, you can go look up the Taiwan Strait crisis. The same thing actually happened where the Taiwanese president at the time visited America, and they did the same exact thing. They got mad, they condemned it, and then they did live firing drills in Taiwan. So pretty much Nancy left. We didn't get any further escalation from China. Doesn't mean it can't happen, and we still got to keep our eyes out for that. But those tensions going down, it affected the dollar a little bit. That stayed up because of the data, but that led us to go up. We had good ISM data, and again, it was good data. Kind of. I mean, I hate saying good data now, because the minute you say it, there's always one perma bear. He's like, what do you mean good data? Okay, but anyways, you get what I'm saying, though. But the data did not miss too heavy today. That impacted the dollar, and that helped kind of support a little bit of the optimism. But those Fed speakers should make you question it. Literally, we heard from Loretta Mester. We heard from Fed Daily again, even Evans again, too, I believe. But even Dolly, she was very, very hawkish. She said, nah, we got a lot to do. They're saying neutral's way higher. They're not going to cut after a couple months. Even Bullard last night, he said the same thing. He's talking 3.5%, 4% interest rates. So the point is, we were able to go up, and there was just a lot of effects from Nancy. We talked about that with the dollar and the bonds. Those tensions dropped. Things were able to go up a little bit good, and then everybody just ignored the Fed speaker. So that's the first key. That's why we got what we got today, and I would definitely pay attention for the moment that the market starts responding. It may happen sooner than we think, but that is definitely something there. But for the second key now, coming into tomorrow, you have the trade balance, and that might be a better indicator. We don't have too much other than that. Everybody's looking at Friday, but a lot of analysts are already saying for Friday, the jobs market's already going to be lagging, so it might not really show us what we're we're looking for, but we do have a lot of earnings tomorrow, so I would just keep an eye out for everything going on, watch the trade balance and any data, and the real question is now, will the rally hold or is it going to fade? And really, my opinion, I think we could hold the rally. I think next stop is 417 if people get bullish. If we could close above that, even better, but if we don't and things kind of get a little bit more choppier, I'm going to watch kind of like 407 on the low side. But the point is now by this week, we got one more set of earnings, a little bit more data, and now everyone's going to be looking, okay, CPI next week, we see the Fed and other things moving. Will the market start positioning? So watch out for that. And finally, number 3, man, this is what I'm trying to tell you. In the meantime, you can milk the rally, but watch out for Wall Street to start responding to the Fed futures and bringing back that volatility. I talked about it today pretty much like I'm saying with these levels, how things have played. It was supposed to be a good week without Nancy. That just got in the way and started moving the bonds, the dollar, the yield curve, all of that. But with all that aside now, not too much has changed. A lot of the earnings have gotten better. The only real thing moving is those Fed futures. So I would not be surprised if we kind of milk out the rest of the week, take it up as high as we can, get everybody feeling kind of happy a little bit, and then come Monday or Tuesday, you're going to start hearing Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and what everybody is talking about, and maybe you might start seeing the markets have that knee-jerk reaction to start responding to the Fed future. So that's the main point. Those are the keys. I think the next 2 days are going to be pivotal, and honestly, coming into next week now, that August 10th, baby, I hope you're ready, but let us get into the plays. So, right off the bat, I got a couple of plays. I don't know if they're groundbreaking. Again, I like the Unity. That one was a play I was really excited for, and we're holding those. But I do have a couple ideas, and then there's just going to be literally 5 to 10 pre-earnings or post-earnings tomorrows and some continuations. But as far as the first play, Ford, baby. Like I'm saying, this isn't groundbreaking. We played this last week after earnings. They keep killing it. I sold out of that option. We bought the 15.5 or 16.5 contracts, bought them for 5 cents, got to sell out at 41. They went up as high as 70 today, so that was a nice game. But what I'm saying here now, if we get some of that bullish momentum in the market, I would definitely be looking for a Ford to double dip, because now those premiums will probably get cheaper, especially if it gets off to a slow start tomorrow or is even bad tomorrow. I would watch those for Friday. But that's the first play coming into number 2 now. I should have went with it this morning. It was operating a little slow, but that's what made it such a perfect post-earnings continuation. But SBUX, if the consumer staples get a little bit more favoritism and we see more optimism in the market, I would watch for the 2-day continuation like Uber. Remember, Uber did good. They continued all the way up throughout the day, and then even the next couple of days, they were starting to pump out higher and higher gains. So SBUX, they've been kind of guttered. People are liking the earnings. They're moving up. I really like the momentum on that one. So gonna be watching SBUX for that 2-day momentum tomorrow. And then finally, number 3, baby, IPOs. So I'm not giving you a specific play. I'm sure you've seen HKD and a bunch of others. Actually, why I'm putting this up here today, because we saw an IPO and it dropped 50%. So it's weird because the phenomena lately was, yes, IPO volume's been low, but randomly people have been buying it. And really what I'm trying to tell you, you are watching the early days of a phenomena, and I would just keep your eyes out for the IPOs. And the best way to do it, just have a list, see the volume, and use the criteria. It works really, really well. Watch the price they open at. Pretty much if an IPO has no premium, a low float, and it's able to trade half the float and then 100% of the float by the end of the day, 50% in the first 10 minutes, that one's more of a 50-50. But the whole idea is some of these might actually be good, but depending on how things play, the retail activity and everything else, you might start watching these kind of explode out of nowhere. But like I'm saying, I think it's in the early days, but I'm definitely going to keep those on watch. But those are the main plays. As far as everything else, I don't think I did anything too crazy. We sold out of the Ubers about 150%. Remember, that was the continuation. Sold out of the Fords. I did buy 2 Airbnb next week 130s for 49 cents. They dropped 50%. They worked a little bit, but then as it came down and didn't go back up too much, that was clapped. And then I did a debit spread on Booking. I did a call for this week, a 2240, and then I sold the 2250, and that that was a net debit of $60, pretty much $60 to make 1,000, but it really had to go up. Booking popped and then came down, so we'll see how that plays out tomorrow. And then finally, I sold the final Microsofts I was holding. They expire next week or 2 weeks from now. I got 124, about 100% on the final 3 contracts. So that was pretty much it, but I'm going to be watching everything we have here, all of the post earnings. And then oil today, it finally broke below the 200-day moving average, and ironically, that's just that price point we said today. Watch out for it. The OPEC stuff affected it. We're getting some of these earnings, but you're not really seeing it move, and pretty much, I think we'll get a better idea of what's going on. If oil flushes from here, I mean, I think the recession might be sooner than later, and then if oil pops off from here, I think all of the inflation fears and it not coming back, it's probably going to show up again. So that's the simple way to put it, but I would be watching oil. I have my plays on it, but really I'm watching to see it make a pull, and it might even happen towards the end of the month. But once we get that, it is definitely going to have an impact on the market. But that is pretty much it, man. That is your watch list. And just like I'm saying, pay attention to the Fed. And even if you're paying attention, the next step is watching kind of when the market goes that way. Milk the rally while you have it, but be cautious for the future. And I hope you're ready. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate, healthy, ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to remember, baby, what you doing it for. If you the God of your life, then tell me what is going to rule it. Is it pleasure or is it going to be power? And are you thinking about the best situation in 5-10 years from now? I said it. Guess what? You might not even remember this watch list 5 years from down the line, but you will remember whether or not you made good financial decisions, and if you saved up and got dividends and added up and little by little instead of gambling it all in a way because you got a little hopeless one day. What I'm trying to tell you, your future self, you're running into him, and all that's going to matter is how you're doing and is if your financial situation, if you are accomplishing those goals. So don't trip on anything. Don't get too caught up into it. Don't get too emotional, please, and enjoy it. But think about the future and how you can make small, good decisions. They don't have to be crazy that will add up into something big. And let's go, baby. But I love you. Drink that water. Stay hydrated and get some good sleep. And I see you in the morning. Bro to bro. I love you, bro. Let's see you. Remember, 5 years, 10 years. Talk to me in 2030. You know what I'm saying? Let's... I just had to... That was a weird one. Okay, I'll take it. That was a weird one, okay? That was a weird one. But listen, shout out to Chad, baby. Finger to the sky. To God be the glory. Stop playing with me. I'm out.